Hi everyone, it's Leonore. Welcome to Soul Searching Tarot. I am a spiritual advisor, cosmic soldier, call it what you will. If you are going through a spiritual recalibration or feel confused about your alignment on earth at the moment, then you have landed on the right channel. Today I will be continuing my extra dimensional messages. There are three parts to these messages. I think it's important that I continue reading on these extra dimensional messages because the veil on earth is almost non-existent. So we are getting a lot of activities in and out of the 3 and 5D. There are three parts to the reading, so I know it's not going to resonate with a lot of viewers at the moment. I would like to do this every week. So the first part of the reading, I will pick up on your current energy, right? So if the current energy, whether it's 3D or 5D kind of energy, if I'm picking up and it resonates currently, maybe this reading is for you, right? Just, stick around, tune in, see what else it says. If it doesn't resonate, you're more than welcome to stick around and listen to the juicy parts. It does go a little bit into 5D, so these extra dimensional messages are not only going to pertain to the 3D, it will move beyond that, if that makes sense. I want to try to connect with your alignment on earth or in the 5D. Let's see what messages are being channeled. The second part has a lot to do with the celestial body or the cosmos, the frequency, the spirit guides, or your spirit guides, your higher self, superpowers. I'm going to pick up on all those things in the second part of the reading. So if the first part resonated, great. And the third part has a lot to do with advice. So any channel messages, everything will be channeled anyway, but if I have any channel messages from your spirit guides, because I am asking for help from your spirit guides and your higher self to pretty much just assist you and guide you at the moment on this new earth that we're living, then great. I will be using a couple of these oracle cards to help me give you any advice in your journey of life. Okay. All right. So you're more than welcome to look at the timestamp in the description box for the beginning of the reading. I'm going to right now talk about my personal projects. I did take a hiatus for quite some time, and I was working on my personal projects along with Elise Nausia and Lone Wolf. Oracle 33 is my first baby project. I've been trying to promote this actually for the last couple of years, but I have been simultaneously working on the book Being Human. Being Human, you could definitely order on Amazon. Kindle or any retail bookstore actually could order it for you. It may take a couple of weeks to get to you, but I'm trying to order a bulk so that if you want it, order it through me. I could just ship it to you immediately. I'm just waiting on that bulk to come through, and it could be shipped anywhere in the world. Oracle 33, same thing, email me. This I'm trying to put on Etsy at the moment, so it eventually will be on Etsy, but Oracle 33, you could order this from me. Oracle 33 has a lot to do with astrology. It has intuitive images here that'll help with your intuition. It'll help you connect to your higher self. A lot has to do with astrology. It does have, personal messages here, oracle cards. You just need one or two messages. They're not tarots. The colors here are also, the colors and the symbols are here to also help you. All right, we have the Merkaba in the back. There's also a guidebook, right? So it's a very user-friendly oracle deck with instructions. It does have like the numbers to the cards, right? So if you wanna, just listen a little bit, read a little bit more about the card that you drew out or that you picked out for the day, it does give you more insight. And it has information about chakras, colors, houses, star signs, planets. All right, very user friendly. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so I am going to try to be doing this every week. I would love to upload a couple of videos a week, but I know my schedule sometimes doesn't call for it. But if I could upload every week, perfect. Again, I am going to continue reading on extra dimensional messages, but I also am going to touch on other topics as well, eventually. Not right now, but eventually I will. Check out my other channels. I do have a specific channel for being human. I'll leave that in the description box. And Oracle 33 could be ordered through me. I will leave that in the description box as well. Yeah, let's get started. All right, for those who are already subscribed to me, thank you. We love you in this channel. Yes, so thank you so much for always supporting me and being there for me. If you have not subscribed and you want to listen to these messages and see if it resonates or something that you want to hear more of, please like, subscribe, share, just so that it could circulate for those who really need to hear it. All right, so I'm going to start with my Black Tarot cards, guys. All right, so let's start with the first message out. All right, so remember, extra dimensional messages has 3 parts. The first part, I am picking up on your current energy, whether it's 3D or 5D. You will know that more than me. So we have the Queen of Spears, which is the Queen of Pentacles, and the 6 of Wands. All right, so very strong air sign. I'm kind of picking up air sign, but you may also have an earth placement. So Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. Some of you may have like an air rising sign, air moon sign, or an air sun sign, but very strong earth and air. Huge contradiction here, right? This is a very strong feminine energy, and this is a very strong masculine energy. Some of you may be balanced out in that area, right? You apply masculine energy when it needs to be applied in your daily life, and you apply feminine energy in your daily life when it needs to be applicable. So when I see the Queen of Pentacles and the 6 of Swords, some of you have careers in communication, traveling. Some of you may have Sagittarius in your birth chart, Gemini in your birth chart, could be Aquarius, could be Libra. A lot of you definitely work online, on the internet, right? We are living in the digital age of technology, so a lot of your business or a lot of your money comes from working online, right? Some of you could be side business, it could be your full-time job. Some of you invest in the market is kind of what I'm hearing here. For a couple of you, you may be looking for a second job is what I'm hearing, right? Second job to make ends meet. I do see some of you going through an interview or already have had an interview. I do see a message coming through, so you may get a call back, but it feels like you may get interviewed more than twice. I would give it a little time. They look like they're behind if you are waiting for a call back from that interview or will be getting interviewed. These could be messages applied now or later. Sometimes I read way in advance. Like my readings come or predictions a lot of the time. So some of you, if you do end up interviewing for this job, I do see a little bit of a delay between the second and third interview. I do think that the first interview is going to go well. I just think that there's going to be a delay, and it could be weeks, right? The delay could be weeks. But I do see a call back, or at least a message. What else do I see for your current energy? Some of you are married or living with someone. That you guys may have time apart from each other. So, you know, maybe someone travels a lot for business and they don't see each other every day. Someone is a hard worker here. So, you know, work could be keeping them away, you know, on a daily basis. But some of you are married or live together with someone, you know, you have a partner, a spouse. All right, I'm gonna leave it here. Let me just also get another message from the Native American tarot cards. See what else I pick up. Let's see what else I pick up. Some of you get visions. Like I'm seeing, like when you close your eyes, you get like visions. Like visions pop out at you, right? So these visions could be futuristic, could be past, could be distorted visions, right? Like, you know, you can't make out the vision at first. But I do see with the Queen of Pentacles, that you get like visions, like she has her eyes closed right here. Hopefully you have a good image of that. I know they're really dark. They're called the Black Tarot for a reason, because it's black and white, but the energy is pretty heavy here on these cards. I love these cards. A lot of you are very rooted, right? Like you know what your foundation is, right? You may have a strong lineage, right? A strong family lineage, bloodline, very important lineage and bloodline. And I feel like these visions may give you a hint to your family lineage or ancestral, some kind of ancestral royalty, superpower. All right, let's expand on this a little bit more. See if I could pick up maybe on anything that may spill into the second part of the reading. The second part of the reading has a lot to do with what is influencing you right now, right? Could be your spirit guide, it could be your higher self. This is too much. All right, just one more. So I have Three of Cups here. Three of Cups. I'm hearing a message is coming through. Message could be emotional, like a phone call, a text message. With the Three of Cups here, some of you may be getting that phone call or message now, or will be getting it. It does feel a little bit emotional with the Three of Cups here. Yeah, it could be a sibling, a cousin. All right, and then I have the Two of Wands here. So Three of Cups and Two of Wands. Some of you have a very strong ascendant rising sign, if you know it. If you don't, that's okay. It's the ascendant in your birth chart tells people what your mask is, right? What's your mask in public? What's your mask at your job? What's your mask when you first meet people, right? They don't know your personal story yet, right? They don't know your secrets yet. They don't know your ambition and motivation and aspirations yet. You're just showing them this mask, and this is a mask that you show people every day, right? Mostly people you hardly know, acquaintances, co-workers. And when you wear this mask, people look at you with a lot of respect. They admire you with the Three of Cups and the Two of Wands. Why? Because they see something very special in you. They see someone who is like a stand-up person, right? A person with morals, values, a person who don't take shit, right? They don't take shit. Right? Could be a patient person with the Three of Cups here, but I think a lot of the times, you take other people's bullshit, so to speak, because maybe it's your job, right? Maybe you get paid for it. You got to swallow in that bullshit because you have that kind of title or business role. It could be even within your family, right? You take shit from your family, but you know better, right? You know better than, to say something. Maybe sometimes you do, but a lot of the times I think people see you like, they don't see this other side of you, right? Hence the mask, right? They don't see that, if you wanted to tell them off real quick, real fast, you will, but you try not to, because you could hurt their feelings, to put it mildly. I mean, you could do more than that, but you don't want to hurt people's feelings. And so people kind of look at you like, yeah, I could say anything to, so-and-so. And they do, they do trust you with their personal stories, or they trust you with telling you their secrets, and more than that, right? But sometimes they get too comfortable, sometimes they get too sassy, or maybe disrespectful, but something doesn't bother you. Like, it doesn't, a lot of the times it doesn't bother you. Sometimes it does, but most of the time it does not, because of this mask that you wear. And I think that underneath, because I really want to get into your underneath now I'm curious. I think that sometimes underneath, you don't show that part of yourself because it's dark. It could be pretty dark, right? You could tell people off if you wanted to. You could kill people with your stare, with the lash of your tongue, and then they could see the real you. Then they'll be like, oh, wow, that's the real you. You'll be like, it's always been there, right? But I choose not to be low vibrational, or I choose not to show that dark side of myself. A lot of you have a strong water placement. I'm hearing Mars in a water sign, so Mars in Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Some of you may have a sun sign in a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But you could get very fiery if you wanted to, right? Interesting. Let's go into the second part, right? We just spilled into the second part. So the second part has a lot to do with picking up your spirit guides, or what celestial body, or talking about the cosmos. The celestial body could be planet, could be a house, could be a sign, it could be a frequency, spirit guide, or superpower. What is influencing my viewer right now? All right, so let's leave this here. Let's go into these cards here. All right, I'll take it. I will take it. All right, so I have here two cards. I have Earth and I have Jupiter. Wow, interesting. Some of you may have a Jupiter in an Earth sign, right? So a Jupiter in Taurus, a Jupiter in Virgo, or a Jupiter in Capricorn. Right now, Jupiter's in Cancer. In Western astrology, in Vedic, it's Jupiter is still in Aries. Sorry, not Aries. Where am I, Leonore? I just got dizzy just now. What's before Cancer? Gemini. Jupiter in Gemini. A lot of you with the Earth and Jupiter sign, wow, kind of reminds me of the Queen of Pentacles here, which is an Earth sign. Some of you may have very strong Earth placements in your chart, right? So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But otherwise, I think that the Earth, okay, bear with me. Some of you have I did talk about lineage, right? Yes, I did. I talked about, like, yeah, that's why I'm picking up the Queen of Pentacles. I talked about the visions that you get and the strong foundation and strong lineage bloodline that you have. Some of you are like, Leonore, my family do not have a strong lineage. Okay, maybe in the last couple of generations that might have dissipated, right? Maybe it's not their fault, right? Maybe mental illness runs in the family, maybe addiction runs in the family, trauma, toxicity runs in the family right now. But back in the day, like way back in the day, I'm talking about a couple of centuries ago, maybe just a century ago, right? That's 100 years. Your lineage was very strong, and I think even further back to that, 1 or 2 centuries, it still feels like, like the bloodline feels strong. I think that has the generations gone by, right, and especially in the last 2 or 3 generations, perhaps, you've dealt with, again, toxicity or trauma, or addiction in the family. But if you look at your grandparents or your great grandparents or your great grandparents, there is a very strong history there, a very strong ancestral history there. And some of you I feel, with the Queen of Pentacles and the Three of Cups, have spirit guides from your ancestral lineage, your bloodline, still following you, right? They may not be alive, but they are aware of your superpowers. They are aware of your kinship and what you can create on this earth with the powers that have been given to you. And perhaps because of the last couple of generations, your parents or your grandparents or whatever the case may be, could be society, could be the culture, they have been I guess, removing those practices, those ancient family practices and values. Like I'm hearing the native tongue, right? Maybe even the native tongue, the tongue that you spoke, or that not that you spoke, but your great grandparents spoke, have dissipated. Those kind of cultural values and beliefs have been dissipating in the family, but it's here. It's still here for you. It's around you. And your visions are telling you something. Your downloads are telling you something. Your spirit guides, your higher self, your superpowers are telling you something, right? So some of you may be aware of it. Some of you are just getting to know that part of yourself, but wherever your journey is at the moment, you are exactly where you need to be. I will take an advice about this because I think it's very important, because when I look at this image here, I see that you are very attached to the earth. Some of you have reincarnated here a couple of times. I don't think more than that. Yeah. And whenever you were reincarnated, it just feels like a handful of time. Like there's people here that have been reincarnated many times over, right? Especially low vibrational people, if you believe in that. Low vibrational people that hate, the low vibration frequency of the earth. Those entities love that energy, right? That energy of like, yeah, give me hate, give me war. But with your soul, I just, especially with the Jupiter card being here, I think that with your soul came and reincarnated onto this earth at this time for a specific mission. You didn't have to be here. I think that some of you chose to come back here for a reason, or some of you have come back to this earth to complete a mission that was not fulfilled in the last. So I really think that a lot of you have only been reincarnated a few times onto this earth. A lot of you are not even from here. You're star seeds. This is not your home. Earth is really not your home. However, they are special properties and entities like fairies, trees, folklores and mystical stories and entities, if you believe in any of those, right? Like the Druids, in Egypt, ancient Egypt, that are here on this earth that you connect with very easily, or is waiting for you to connect with it, because you have special, I keep wanting to say properties. You have special properties, but your DNA gets activated through these connections, and it feels very powerful. It feels angelic, even. It feels like there's so much to explore, like once you've mastered one superpower or gift, there's another one to be explored, and then another one, and then another one. With the Jupiter card here, I love that for you. All right, let's get any advice here. I'm going to use my karma cards, and then I'm going to use, I feel like some of you may use make yourself a priority card today. This is like a self-care oracle cards that I love using sometimes, but I just want to see if there's any advice here for my viewers. I hope that it resonated with you. If it did, please like the video. All right, so in the 5th house and Uranus, ooh, interesting. All right, so we're at the 3rd part of the segment, and I want to get any advice, channel messages here, either through your higher self or spirit guides. So I am asking for their help at this moment. Some of you, whew, this came in hard. Some of you have a child or will have a child that is going to be, sorry. Sometimes I feel the energy, guys, but my words are like behind, right? So I feel it, but how am I going to describe this, right? It's like, how do I put this feeling, this download into words? So just bear with me. Some of you have a child or are around a child, right? It could be, your own child, could be someone else's child, doesn't matter. But there is a child. It could be some of you, maybe a couple of you are having a baby, right? So you're either pregnant at the time, like you're pregnant at this time, or are planning to have a baby, like you're planning to have a baby. I'm hearing Gemini. I don't know why I'm hearing it, but the kid could be a Gemini, you could be a Gemini, but right now Uranus is in Gemini, and it will be for the next 13 years. So I don't know what that means. It's just a channel message. Could be the child is 13, could be the child will flourish while Uranus is in Gemini. I don't know. Okay, well, let's just stop right there, Spirit. A lot of it, a lot of the energy has to do with this child. Okay, so whether you gave birth to this child or not, there is a child around you, for some of you, that is very favored by the gods, the OG gods, Uranus, like the OG. And I don't know what this child's mission is, right? This child could be younger than 5, older than 5. I don't know. But this child is different from a lot of the children, right? So if that makes sense, then I'm talking about that specific child. They don't follow the norm, if that makes sense, right? They question things, right? A lot of kids question things, but this specific child questions a lot of things. Like abnormal things, like shouldn't an adult be questioning me about this, but this child is questioning you about this. Very smart, for sure. And I think that some of you also may connect with this child because you were like that, or you are like that, right? So some of you are like, I connect with that child a lot because it reminds me of myself, right? There is some kind of connection between you and that child, and perhaps you are supposed to mentor that child or take care of that child or protect that child. But I feel like that child is in your life for a reason. They may have Leo in their chart with the 5th house here. You may have Leo in your chart. So interesting, because the Queen of Pentacles gives me a very maternal, whether you're masculine or feminine, doesn't matter. I did say in the very beginning that some of you have both masculine and feminine very strongly in your chart. But I do feel like your maternal instincts, whether you're a man or a woman or something else, your maternal instincts are very rare. And it's rare. Why? Because you have great emotional intelligence. right? You don't have to really talk to someone to know what they're going through, right? Some people are like, yeah, how you're feeling. Tell me how you're feeling. But you could already tell how they're feeling just by looking at them. So your intelligence when it comes to emotion is very high. And that makes you maternal, feminine. That energy is super in your DNA. It's like it's almost like a guide, like a spirit guide takes over for you, right? Maybe that spirit guide is very maternal, and you channel that spirit guide. For some of you, I said in the beginning, some of you are in communications, or you have a very important job with the Queen of Pentacles and the Six of Swords. I feel like a lot of you are gonna go and experience some kind of fame, popularity in the next decade, right? Could be I want to say the next decade. But it could be sooner than that, right? So, maybe some of you are already on that road of being known, right, worldwide, right, or in your community. I feel more worldwide than anything because of the age we live in, but because of digital technology and stuff like that. But some of you, if you are working on that road, on that path, it may be sooner than 10 years. I'm not saying 10 years from now, I'm saying within the 10 years. I think that with the next 10 years, the next decade, you are going to experience some kind of fame, right? Whether it's 2 years from now or 9 years from now. It's yeah, I just see popularity. Like that word just keeps coming out, like very popular, very trendy. But trendy not in a like in and out, 15 minutes of fame kind of trendy, more like generational, like a legacy kind of popularity, some kind of legacy. All right, one more message. All right, so I just want to make yourself a priority. I love these cards because we're going to come back down to earth. Let's take a deep breath. Come back down to earth. Let's come back down to earth and see what other advice. I don't know if that was so much of an advice. It was, but it wasn't. So you take that message, how it resonated with you. All right, so here it says, be aware of what is worth your energy. Ooh, yeah. So physical, emotional, social, mental, right? I will take care of myself by, and then how it made me feel, right? So you could write those things down. I mean, this is just a guide on how to self-care, whether it's physical, emotionally, social, mental, all of the above. But how will you take care of yourself, right? So in this case, it's saying be aware of what is worth your energy, right? This could be family, this could be a job, this could be something that came up, right? Be aware of where you spend your energy, right? Remember how they say, choose your battles, right? Choose your battles. I think is also another way of kind of interpreting this message here. Perhaps there is a fight that you need to, what do you call that? Confront. And, but you already confronted another energy the week before, and you're like still tired of that, right? You're still tired from that. So it's asking you to be aware of where you're putting your energy. It could be that, it could be something else. You would know that more than me, but yeah, that is your message. Let's see if I could get one more. Okay, let me take this one. It says, visit a location that you find inspiring or meaningful. I love that. Love the colors on this. Yeah. Maybe take a vacation, right? 1 day, overnight vacation, 2 nights. If you could afford it at the time. It feels like it's saying go away. Right? It could be a field trip, right? It doesn't have to be overnight. It could be a field trip. Take a drive somewhere. Whether it's 2 hours away, 20 minutes away. But it does feel like, some of you need to escape the world you're in now. Not through the phone. Do not escape through social media or, videos or movies. Maybe you can, right? Maybe you could watch a nice movie, maybe in another town, or another city or another state or another, province. But the point is that it does have to inspire you. It has to feel meaningful. If the beach makes you feel inspired, go to the beach, or any kind of body of water. If the mountains make you feel inspired, or you feel like there's meaning behind those forests, valleys, meadows, even a zoo, even visiting a zoo, it's asking you to either revisit that location if you've been there before, or try a new place, right? Try a new place. All right, so that is all for today. I am going to stop there. I did love your reading today, so I hope some of you did take something from it. So don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. I do love for these messages to go and circulate for those who really need to hear it. So hit the like button if you can. And don't forget, you could order your copy, Being Human. Being Human has a lot to do with basically this message, and much, much more. And if you want to get a Oracle 33 deck from me, just email me. All right. Love you. Bye.